Hey everybody, welcome to the Fighting Irish Installments number 2. Today we're going to talk about what it means to be a clutch player. You know, you've heard that, guys. You've heard that term used a lot, being clutch. What does it mean? I choose to use some other terms or verbiage to describe what it means to be clutch. One of those would be a guy who has nerves of steel. Why do they talk about nerves of steel? When that moment comes in the game, and that we're talking about in the bottom of the 7th inning or in the big leagues, the bottom of the 9th inning, do you want to be that guy who's on the mound with the ball to strike that last guy out, or do you want to be the guy at the plate with 2 outs and a guy on third base with a chance to win the game? If the answer is no, you don't. If you're fearful of those situations, that's okay. You know, admit to that. And then what we've got to do is we've got to work on that. You've got to get to the point where you want to be in those situations, where you thrive for that. That's who you are. That's what you want. Why are certain people better in those situations than others? You know, you talk about guys who, like Tim Tebow. Why was he better in the fourth quarter always than he was in the first 3? He had a greater amount of focus. He had a greater amount of intensity. He was driven so that when the game was on the line, he was at his best. And he prepared for it. You know, his whole life, he had prepared for an opportunity to be in those games. He knew that when it came down to the fourth quarter, he wanted the football in his hands. He wanted to be the one scoring. And you have to ask yourself, how do you practice? You know, when you get out on the practice field, do you prepare yourself for events like that? Or is it just kind of you're walking through the motions thinking that, well, this is just a practice? I can tell you that those are the moments where you prepare yourself for greatness. Those are the moments where you begin to learn how to become a clutch performer. And also, do you dream about those situations? I can tell you when I was a kid, I used to dream about being in a situation where I was the one at the plate in the bottom of the 9th inning with 2 outs, runner on third base, and a chance to win the game for our team. And you know, it happened to me more times than not. And when I did get in those situations, I was ready for it. I was playing a game at Notre Dame, and we played against the University of Santa Barbara, University of California, Santa Barbara. And I was in that situation. It was the bottom of the 9th inning. There were 2 outs, and we were down by a run. I actually walked up to the plate, and I knew that I was going to get a hit. I knew it. Didn't matter if the guy got a strike on me or 2 strikes. I knew I was going to come up with a base hit. And sure enough, I hit a ball up the middle, and we tied the score, and we ended up winning. Then I was in AAA, and I was in a very similar situation. We were playing the Iowa Cubs in believe it was the 3rd game of the series, and I came up to the plate in the 9th inning with 2 outs. We were down by a run. Guy on second base, and I delivered a hit over the second baseman, shortstop's head with 2 outs and 2 strikes. I ended up scoring the winning run of that game, and we won, and we ended up winning the AAA World Series championship. Situations like that happen to people who prepare for them, and they come out on top more times than not. And then on the flip side, there are guys who don't prepare for those things and end up having a difficult time in those situations. I also want to say I believe it can be something that is learned. I don't think that being a clutch performer is just inborn in you. I think it's something that you can learn how to do. I think that our guys can learn how to become better clutch hitters and better clutch performers so that when you come down and that situation is on the line, that you are the one that gets the hit. You're the one that makes the pitch. You're the one that makes that play. And like I said before, if you're fearful or scared in those situations, that's okay. We can work at it. We can learn how to become better in those situations. Don't allow that fear to overcome you and back up, but allow that fear to drive you and let you become better in that situation. And finally, you have to learn how to be in those situations, and the only way you can is by being in them and sometimes getting it wrong. And then eventually you'll get it right. And so I'm looking forward to this next weekend in the tournament, in this Copper State Showcase that we're in. I'm looking to see which guys are going to be the ones that are going to step up in those situations. and which guys do we need to help to grow in those situations. So either or, whatever your situation may be, I'm looking forward to helping you with that and growing your game and taking you to the next level. This is the Fighting Irish videos saying, Go Irish.